Picture yourself for a moment trapped by an invisible chain. You chase goals, seek approval, try to be what others expect, but deep down something feels wrong. What if the power you're searching for, the power to live fully, to shape your own life, wasn't out there but inside you, waiting to be unleashed? Friedrich Nietzsche, the philosopher who shook the world with his fiery ideas, believed there's a silent trick, a hidden force that can transform who you are. He called it the will to power. But it's not what you think. It's not about dominating others or shouting louder. It's something far subtler and far more powerful. Today, in a world bombarded by distractions, comparisons, and rules we don't question, Nietzsche offers a key, a trick that makes no noise but changes everything. In this video, you'll discover what the will to power is, how it secretly shapes your life, and most importantly, how to use it to become who you truly are. Stay with me, because by the end you'll learn the silent trick that can give you a power no one can take away. What did Nietzsche mean by the will to power? Many get it wrong, picturing a tyrant conquering everything in sight. But Nietzsche saw power differently. To him, the will to power is the life force pulsing within each of us, the drive to create, grow, overcome limits, and affirm who we are. It's the fire that pushes you to rise after a fall, the courage to say no when everyone else says yes. He wrote, "What is good? Everything that heightens the feeling of power in man, the will to power, power itself." But here's the secret. This power doesn't come from outside. It's born from self-mastery, from the ability to shape yourself. Think about your life. How many times have you felt stuck, like you're living to please others? Maybe you follow a path you didn't choose or avoid risks because you're afraid to fail. Nietzsche would say you're giving away your power, not because someone stole it, but because you handed it over. Society, he argued, is a machine that trains us to obey, to conform, to be heard. Religion, culture, even social media, they tell us how to think, what to want, who to be. And without realizing it, we comply. But Nietzsche's silent trick is this: you can break those chains, not with screams or rebellions, but with a quiet choice to embrace your will to power. Stop and think, where have you felt this force? Maybe it was a moment when you faced a fear, like speaking in public, or when you created something from scratch, like a poem or an idea. Those moments, however small, are the will to power at work. Nietzsche believed each of us is an artist, and the masterpiece is our own life. But here's the problem. Most of us never realize this. We live distracted, chasing external validation, likes, promotions, status, and meanwhile our true power, the one that comes from within, lies dormant. How does this play out in today's world? Look around. Social media traps us in endless comparisons. You see an influencer with a perfect life and feel you'll never measure up. Nietzsche would ask, why do you let that define your worth? Or think about work. So many grind away at jobs they hate just to chase what society calls success. Nietzsche would question, is this success for you or for them? Even politics divides us, making us shout for sides we don't fully understand. Nietzsche would challenge, are you thinking for yourself, or is the herd speaking through you? Nietzsche's silent trick is realizing that power isn't about defeating others, but about conquering yourself. It's saying no to the voices that diminish you, whether they're external or internal. It's choosing to create your own truth, even if the world disagrees. But how do you do this? Before I show you the steps, let me tell you a story. Meet Lucas. He's 32, a graphic designer, and for years he lived to please others. As a kid, his parents told him to be stable, so he chose a safe career. At work, he took on every demand from his boss, even when it drained him. On social media, he posted what he thought would get likes, not what he truly felt. But deep down, Lucas felt empty. He dreamed of creating something of his own, maybe a graphic novel. But a voice inside always said, You are not good enough. Who's going to take you seriously? One night, Lucas stumbled across a book by Nietzsche. A line hit him hard. Become who you are. He started asking himself, who am I really? He decided to try Nietzsche's silent trick. Instead of giving in to fear, he began listening to the voice calling him to create. He wrote a question in his notebook, why do I think I can pursue my dream? The answer came, because I'm afraid to fail. So he asked, what if I fail? What does that mean? Slowly he realized failure wasn't the end, it was just a step. Lucas started small. He wrote one page of his graphic novel, then another. It wasn't perfect, but it was his. Each step fueled his will to power. He stopped seeking approval at work and online. When he shared his project with friends, he got criticism, but also praise. And for the first time, he felt he was living for himself. Lucas didn't become famous overnight, but he found something greater, the power to be who he is, unchained. Lucas's story isn't unique. We all have moments where we give away our power, but we also have the chance to take it back. Nietzsche teaches us that the will to power is like a flame. It never goes out, but it needs you to make it grow. So how do you apply this silent trick to your life? Here are 3 practical steps. First, identify where you're giving away your power. Ask yourself, where in my life am I following what others expect instead of what I want? It might be at work, in relationships, or even in your own thoughts. Write down one sentence that sums it up, like, I stay quiet to avoid conflict. Second, challenge that belief. Use Nietzsche's question, does this make me stronger or weaker? For example, if you avoid conflict, ask, what would happen if I spoke my mind? Keep digging. Why am I afraid to disagree? These questions lead you to the root of what's holding you back. Third, act with courage. Start small, like Lucas. If you want to change careers, write down one idea. If you want to stop chasing approval, post something honest online. Every action, no matter how small, is a step toward affirming your will to power. Nietzsche said, that which is done out of love always takes place beyond good and evil. Find your why and let it guide you. Nietzsche believed life is a blank canvas, and the greatest power is painting your own story. The silent trick he left us isn't about shouting louder or dominating others. It's about listening to the flame inside you, the one that whispers, you can be more. In a world pulling us toward the herd, the will to power is the courage to say, I choose my path. So where are you giving away your power today? What invisible chain will you break? Drop your answer in the comments. I want to know what drives you. And if this video sparked something in you, join us at Essence and Existence. Subscribe, because we're just starting to explore the ideas that transform lives. Nietzsche is waiting for you. What's your next step?